Hello everyone, this is Nick Nat Packer coming to you live from Virginia Beach, Virginia. And now that I've uploaded my vlog for Vampire Diaries Season 4, like I said, this is going to be a 2-for-1 special. So today, I'm doing a vlog for the CW's newest acquisition, Beauty and the Beast, Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot. Why am I doing this? Well, I know this is going to make me sound real old, but I, like many others, was a fan of this show, the original show, way back in the day, like many moons ago. And we've been waiting for a very long time to see whether or not any networks are going to try and pick it up again and redo it for a modern audience, or because the way the show ended in season 3 wasn't exactly something that we were pleased with. I'm not going to go into the details because most of you probably haven't seen it. I'm going to guess that the people that did watch it on Thursday were younger, so probably have not seen the original, so you won't have anything to compare. But I'm just gonna do this vlog to kind of share my opinions and comparisons and contrasts, so that those of you that haven't seen it will be able to have an idea of what us fans are looking at our perspective. Because Beauty and the Beast is it's a small show. It was only on for 3 years, but it developed a very strong cult following in the 3 years that it was on. And in order to understand that, you kind of have to understand the background of the series itself, so that you'll know between them both what's missing. Now, I know that the CW said that the show itself was supposed to be very loosely based on the original 1987 series, and when they say very loosely, judging by what I saw in the pilot, I would say very loosely. Like, the only thing that is the same is the fact that the main character's name is Katherine Chandler, and she works in a law profession capacity. And the male character's name is Vincent. That's about it. Everything else is completely different. Let me give you a little bit of backstory first for the original series. In the original series, Katherine Chandler was a 30s-ish corporate attorney. She came from a rich background. Her father, Charles Chandler, was the man that owned the actual firm, and she worked for him. And she was dating, and I think the guy was an attorney as well, but she seemed to be like society's golden child, but in reality, she didn't have a very happy life. She didn't realize it until certain things started happening to her, how lonely and displaced her life was. But anyway, one night, as she's going home from a date, she's waiting for a cab, and a van pulls up in front of her, and a bunch of guys come out, grab her, and throw her into the back of the van. And they proceed to literally beat the crap out of her, and they take a knife and slash her face. But they don't call her Catherine. They call her a different name. And they say, this is what happens when you piss us off, and some other stuff like that. I'm sorry, I'm having to reach back into the annals of my brain to remember this. Remember, this is a long time ago. So they slash her face pretty bad, and they beat her up really badly, and then they throw her beaten, broken body into Central Park, near the big drainage pipe, and they leave her for dead. Vincent, who lives underneath the city, is wandering around Central Park at night, as he usually does sometimes, and he comes upon her body and realizes that she's alive, but she's going to die if she's into hell. So, against his better judgment, he knows he really has no choice, because he can't just let her die. He takes her down into the tunnels with him, and he brings her to Father Moorhead. And Father, having been a doctor in his youth, nurses her back to health. And because her face is all cut up and stuff, they have to wrap her face. And also they have her eyes covered because they can't let her see anything that's going on because they don't know if they can trust her yet with this information, especially with knowing about Vincent. So she spends 10 days down there recuperating, and then one day she wakes up, and I guess she's tired of having the bandages around her face and she wants them taken off. So she cuts the bandages off her face, and there's no mirrors around. At this point, she's in Vincent's chamber. She's in his room. There's no mirrors, so she doesn't know what's going on or what she looks like. She can feel that there's like stitches and scars on her face, but she can't see anything. So she finds some sort of reflective surface lying amongst the knickknacks on the shelf, and she looks in it. She sees her face, and she's like shocked. Oh my God, look at my face. Because I wouldn't say that Catherine was vain. She was definitely never a vain person. It's just, when you're a society person, your looks are a big deal. She'd already been attacked and almost killed, so she's under enough stress at that. But out of the corner of her eye, in the reflection, Vincent happens to come up behind her to check on her. It's the first time she actually sees. Well, she didn't entirely see his face, but she definitely saw something because he had his hood drawn over his face. And she kind of freaked out. Well, she didn't freak out. She's kind of like, she was startled that he was there. And he told her to sit down on the bed, but to not look at him. But she wanted to see him because she couldn't believe that this person who had been so gentle and so kind to her and has saved her life could be something so vicious and deadly and ugly. And all she could see was his hands, and they were, it had claws and fur. And she took his hood back, and she saw his face, and appropriately enough, yeah, she kind of freaked out. But after he sat and he talked to her and he got her to calm down, she finally managed to realize that he wasn't going to hurt her, and that he was the one that had saved her life. Those 10 days drastically changed her. Drastically. They literally changed her into a completely different person. So after the 10 days, they knew they had to let her go because obviously at this point, the people, her friends and family and people she works with in the world above have probably noticed her absence and are wondering if she's alive or dead or what the hell has happened. So Vincent implores her, please, for not just my sake, but for the sake of everyone who lives down here, please don't speak of this. So she promises that she won't, and he leads her to a threshold, which, oddly enough, is in the sub-basement below her apartment building. And he lets her go, and he thinks that's probably the last time that he's going to set eyes on her. But what he didn't realize is that it's never really explained how it happened. Some fans have the theory that maybe Vincent was born with empathic abilities, and he can feel the emotions of everybody that's around him, but because his connection with Catherine was so acute that he felt it more, that he knew exactly where she was. Some people believe that it was just some kind of magical occurrence that just connected them. No one really knows. But after this, she she goes back to her father. She goes to the hospital. She has plastic surgery to fix the scars on her face. And, of course, the news catches wind. Oh my God, she's alive. Blah blah blah. And after some time recuperating, she goes back to work at the law firm. But she, after only maybe about a day or two there, she starts to realize that no one there really gives a crap about her. They say that they do, but it's not true.
Mommy, can we play with this sand sandwich game? Yay!
And she feels like she's suffocating within the walls of this place. And she can't stand being there anymore, so she tells her father that she's going to quit. And she does. She quits her job at the law firm, and she goes to work as assistant district attorney at the DA's office, working for a man by the name of Joe Maxwell, who becomes a very close and trusted friend of hers. So after that, she can't stop thinking about Vincent and everything she saw and everything that she went through. Because when she was down there, he introduced her to this whole separate world. The world below the tunnels is it's a world where people that have not found a place in society, people that are people have been cast out. Some of them had drug problems and couldn't deal with life above. Some of them lost their jobs and were homeless and had nowhere else to go. People that felt like they had no place up there. And there are some people that have been there since the day that they were born. They have literally been born and raised underground. It's a whole completely separate world. They have rooms that they sleep in, and they have a place where they eat, and they have a chef. They have a man down there who, in his life above, he was a cook, so that's what he does down there. He cooks their food. You've got a father who is a doctor who tends their medical needs. They have the whole world just so rich and so involved. The set pieces were just amazingly beautiful. And you have Pascal in the pipe chamber who manages all the pipes. This is the chamber where all the pipes converge into one place. And these are pipes that line the rocky walls of the tunnels. And this is by claying on the pipes. They develop some kind of Morse code communication, and this is how they communicate over distances. And in order to get supplies like food and things like that, they rely on helpers from above. Now, these helpers, they can either be people that have lived there before and have by choice to decide to go back up above. People that were friends of these people from before, that they've known since forever, like Jacob's friend, another doctor who he went to medical school with, has remained a friend of his and was there almost since the tunnels started. And ironically enough, he was the doctor that he was the obstetrician that birthed Kathy. So he's known her since she's born. Anyway, she knows that if she speaks of this to anybody, that not only will it destroy Vincent, because he can't live anywhere else but in this world, but it will destroy the whole world. People that have made their homes there will be, and they won't have anywhere else. Especially the little children. Some of these children were born there. Some of them were orphans and cast-offs that happened to be found and brought there to be kept safe. So they're like off the grid. If people found out there were children down there, they would probably send people down there to collect them, and then they wouldn't see the whole world. And yeah, it would just be really bad.